Ever walk into a place and it just feels expensive even though you know the couch came from a discount store? That is the power of big leaf plants working behind the scenes. These oversized greens trick the eye into seeing height, depth and design without you spending designer money. I am talking about leaves so bold they turn blank corners into magazine shots. You do not need a massive living room either, because even small spaces look richer with the right plant choice. Today I am breaking down how you can build that luxury vibe on a real-life budget. No rare imports, no weekly plant funerals, just smart picks that grow big and look classy. If your room feels flat, this is about to change fast. Stick around because your walls are about to get jealous of your plants. The prayer plant is that budget-friendly secret designers never talk about, because for the price of a basic lamp you get these huge patterned leaves that move with light and close slightly at night, like the plant is alive with personality. Those broad oval leaves bounce light around the room, which makes dark corners feel brighter and more open, and that alone can make a small space look expensive. Studies from the University of Technology, Sydney show indoor greenery can improve mood by up to 37% and lower stress around 50%, and when a plant has this much surface area, the calming effect feels even stronger. It thrives in medium light, so you do not need a sun-soaked window, and it drinks water only when the top soil dries, which keeps maintenance simple. Give it loose, well-draining soil with a bit of peat or cocoa coir and it will push out bigger leaves month after month. I have seen prayer plants double in size within a year in average apartments, which is wild for something that costs so little. Those dramatic leaf patterns look like custom wallpaper without you touching a paintbrush. If you want your room to feel layered, rich and intentional without spending luxury money, this plant does half the styling job for you. The Fiddle Leaf Fig is basically the celebrity of big leaf plants, and yet you can find young ones for the price of a dinner out, which is crazy for how much luxury they add. Those giant violin-shaped leaves pull your eyes upward and make ceilings feel taller, which is one of the oldest interior design tricks for making a room look high-end. NASA research showed large leaf houseplants help reduce indoor air pollutants, and with leaves this size the air in your room actually feels fresher. Place it in bright indirect light and water only when the top couple inches of soil feel dry, because soggy roots are the only real enemy here. Use a chunky, well-draining soil mix and a pot with drainage and you are set. Given the right spot, this plant can grow several feet in a year, turning a bare corner into a statement piece without buying furniture. Every time someone walks in, they notice the fig first, not your budget sofa, and that is exactly the luxury illusion you want. The large Monstera Obliqua is the kind of plant that makes people stop mid-sentence, because those massive split leaves look like living art, and somehow you can still grow it on a normal budget if you start small. Those wide perforated leaves cast soft shadows across walls, which instantly adds depth and that layered look you see in high-end interiors. It loves bright indirect light but does fine a few feet from a window and only needs water when the top layer of soil dries, so it fits into real-life routines. Give it airy soil with bark or perlite and the roots breathe better, which means faster growth and bigger leaves. Research from the University of Exeter shows leafy plants can boost productivity and focus by up to 15%, and with foliage this dramatic, the vibe shift is instant. I have seen a young Obliqua push out leaves the size of dinner plates within months in an apartment. Once it starts climbing, it fills vertical space so well that you suddenly do not need wall art. For turning a plain room into something that feels styled by a designer, this plant punches way above its price tag. Alocasia Azlanii looks like something pulled straight out of a luxury hotel lobby, with those thick metallic purple-green leaves that catch light from every angle, and yet you can grow it in a normal apartment without fancy gear. The leaves are broad and glossy, so they reflect light around the room, making spaces feel brighter and more dramatic, which is exactly what expensive interiors do with mirrors and textures. It prefers bright filtered light and a steady watering routine, where the soil stays lightly moist but never soggy, so the roots stay healthy. Use rich, well-draining soil with perlite and a little cocoa coir to keep that balance just right. Studies on biophilic design show that bold foliage plants can increase feelings of comfort and well-being by over 30%, and this one hits that effect hard because it looks so rare. Even a single Azlanii on a side table becomes a centerpiece that distracts from basic furniture. When a plant does this much visual heavy lifting, your room feels curated, not cluttered, and that is the real luxury. Anthurium Crystallinum brings that soft luxury vibe with huge velvety heart-shaped leaves that look like they belong in a high-end plant boutique, but the plant itself is still very budget-friendly. Those pale silver veins against deep green make every leaf feel like custom artwork, and when you scatter light across them, the room instantly feels richer. It enjoys bright indirect light and simple watering when the top soil dries, which keeps care realistic for busy days. A loose airy soil with orchid bark and perlite lets the roots breathe and keeps the leaves growing bigger over time. Research from the Journal of Environmental Psychology shows that decorative indoor plants can boost perceived room quality by over 20%, and this one is a perfect example of that effect. I have watched a small crystallinum turn into a wide leaf showpiece in less than a year in an average apartment. Once it fills out, people assume you spent a fortune on decor when all you did was water a plant. The rubber plant is one of the easiest ways to fake a luxury look because those thick oversized leaves look like polished leather and instantly make any room feel more expensive. Each leaf can grow over a foot long, so even one plant fills visual space like a piece of designer furniture. It loves bright indirect light but handles lower light better than most big leaf plants, which is perfect for apartments. Water it only when the top layer of soil dries and use a chunky, well-draining mix so the roots stay healthy. According to studies on indoor greenery, people rate rooms with tall leafy plants as more stylish and comfortable by nearly 25%, and the rubber plant nails that reaction every time. Give it a year and it can easily double in size, creating that lush corner everyone thinks costs serious money. When your goal is luxury on a budget, this plant is basically a cheat code. The Philodendron Pink Princess is pure drama in plant form, with those huge dark leaves splashed in bubblegum pink that look custom painted. Even a young plant brings instant luxury energy because that color contrast grabs attention harder than most wall art ever will. It prefers bright indirect light to keep the pink coming through and only needs water when the top soil dries, which keeps care simple. A loose, well-draining soil with bark or perlite helps those thick roots push out bigger leaves fast. Research on visual environments shows that strong color accents increase perceived room value and mood by over 20%, and this plant does that naturally without buying decor. I have seen a small pink princess turn into a showstopper within months in a regular living room. When guests walk in, they talk about the plant, not the furniture, and that is how you know your budget decor is winning. The Variegated Monstera is the kind of big leaf plant that screams designer taste even if you bought it as a tiny cutting. Those massive split leaves marbled with creamy white patterns reflect light all over the room, which makes spaces feel brighter and more layered, like something out of a home magazine. It thrives in bright indirect light and only needs water when the top soil dries, so it fits into a normal routine. Use airy soil with bark and perlite so the roots stay oxygenated and growth stays steady. Studies on biophilic design show rooms with striking foliage are rated as more premium and relaxing by over 30%, and this plant checks both boxes. I have watched a single cutting turn into a statement piece in less than a year with simple care. Once it matures, people assume you invested big in decor when really you just invested patience. The tree Philodendron is one of those plants that makes a room feel finished because those giant, deeply cut leaves spread wide like a natural sculpture. Each leaf can stretch close to a meter across, which fills empty space the way a pricey piece of furniture would. It does great in bright indirect light but also tolerates medium light, so you do not have to redesign your home for it. Water when the top soil dries and keep it in rich, well-draining soil so the roots never sit wet. Research on indoor environments shows large leafy plants improve comfort perception by over 25%, and this one delivers that effect fast. I have seen a young tree Philodendron turn a dull corner into a tropical lounge vibe within months. When a plant changes the mood of your whole room, it is doing luxury work on a budget. Big leaf plants are not just decoration, they are mood changers, style upgrades, and space fillers that cost way less than new furniture ever will. Start with just one of these and watch how your room suddenly feels taller, brighter, and more intentional. If this video helped you see your space differently, hit like so I know to make more guides like this, and drop a comment telling me which plant you are adding first. And if you want your home to keep looking better every week, make sure you subscribe because your room deserves a glow up without draining your wallet.